What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend so far, and hopefully you guys are ready to go back to work on Monday tomorrow. I'm certainly not looking forward to that. But yeah, here we are. Anyways, guys, in this video here, we're going to talk about a little bit about this kind of surprise event. It kind of caught me off by surprise a little bit. And I wanted to let you guys know that we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to get some free stuff if we do some certain things. So I'm going to let you guys in on that, and we'll talk about my plans and what I plan to do as well. So let's jump right into it. All right, so first things first, let's take a look at the Player and Play calendar here. So as of yesterday, I haven't had much time to peek at this, but I looked at this morning, and yeah, we got some new events coming up as of tomorrow. So the biggest surprise here is this event right here, the Soul Chase Tournament. So as you guys may or may not know, we do have a 2x boost for the Immortal Soul Stones happening on Monday. So it's going to line up perfectly with this Soul Chase event. So Player's trying to entice us to open our medium Soul Stones. They are boosted rates, so we're going to have a higher chance of getting 5 and 6 stars. Souls from those stones, and then they're throwing in this tournament as well so that we get some additional goodies from it. It looks like there is a prism crystal up for grabs. There is going to be a dwarf prism pool available. I'm gonna put that on screen as well. So these are the dwarves that will be up for grabs from that prism crystal. Keep in mind that you should probably pull these prism crystals near the end of the week when there's most likely going to be a champion chase that's going to be active. If there's no champion chase, then there's no harm in waiting, but definitely I advise you guys to wait if you guys have prism crystals, if you guys want to pull for this pool. Some pretty good champs here, of course. We got Hilvy, recent guaranteed deck of fate champion. We have Newt, obviously game changer here. Oswald, I think. He's basically like a dwarf R-Mans. He's very, very good champion. But the main champion, or the main prize, the featured champion, is actually going to be the Admiral Black Tusk dwarf, which is the faction Unity champion. Obviously, his best spot is going to be probably in some kind of siege defense where he's super annoying. So yeah, he's going to be up for grabs as well. Probably the main prize from this pool. But anyways, let's jump back and talk about this Soul Chase tournament. So like I said, Player's probably looking for us to spend most of our Immortal Soul Stones, the medium-sized ones. Now, these ones are really good at helping players finish like guarantee events, like Guaranteed Deck of Fates, which we just had for Hilvy. So these ones are really good for that because you don't want to use the big ones because you want to use the big ones during boosted events because those are so rare. But the medium ones definitely help give you a bunch of points. So is it worthwhile to jump into the 2x event while the Soul Chase tournament is active as well, so you can pick up some additional goodies, potentially a voice shard or a legendary book? I would say it's probably still okay. There's still some time for you to accumulate more. Keep in mind that we do have potentially some, collaborations happening pretty soon. So that might be something you need to think about, right? It really comes down to your account. Is getting guarantee champions more important than, getting additional goodies, progressing your account like sooner, quicker? Because that's kind of trade back, right? Like you trade back the chance of getting higher blessings versus the chance of getting a guaranteed champion. None of this is confirmed, so we don't know, but based on past events, this is kind of how it goes, right? This is the trade-off that we have to make. But let's circle back and talk about this Soul Chase tournament again. So the Soul Chase tournament, right? This is a very surprising event for me because we do have this, where is it? The Frosted Path still active in game right now. Now it's going to end in 16 hours from now. It's going to end in 16 hours from now. This is before the Soul Chase tournament open, sorry. But there's going to be a cooldown period before the event disappears from this bar, right? From this screen. There's going to be a period of time where this is still going to be here. We're still going to have the opportunity to spend the coins that we have acquired on whatever goodies before the event totally disappears. But the big thing is you do not want to collect your soul, because you can collect your soul when the Soul Chase tournament is active, and then you will get credit for a 5-star perfect soul during that tournament. This is worth, I forgot what exactly it's worth, but it's worth almost a free void shard. Almost a free void shard. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's about there, but I don't know exactly. I had a hard time looking for the exact breakdown of the points for the souls. You guys can let me know in the comments below if you guys know exactly what the point breakdown is during the soul chase tournaments. But if you guys are still working on the frosted path, keep that in mind, right? If you guys are still working on it, use your points tomorrow when the soul chase tournament opens, and then you'll get credit for a 5-star perfect soul. And then that's basically, you know, a big leg up in terms of overall points to start off the soul chase. And you're probably going to clear the lower milestones right away. You're just getting additional value, right? So there's no real rush for you to like collect this soul, especially since we have time to collect it after the event ends. Now, personally speaking, I was not expecting a soul chase tournament. You know, these are one of the things where playing Wait Shadow Legends definitely comes in as a big advantage. You never do things on the first day. You never finish things on the first day. Wait until the last day to make sure all the events are clear and active, and then and then you do what you need to do. So if you're in a position where you're still grinding out the frosted path, make sure you guys collect the soul tomorrow when the soul chase opens. For myself personally, I have quite a bit of soul stones on this account. I didn't go for Raphael on this account because I pulled Raphael from an ancient shard, so I totally skipped his his deck of fate a couple months ago, and that was basically what I was saving for a couple months before that event started. So I've been saving my immortal soul stones. I've been saving most of my soul stones for the better half of, I would say, 4 or 5 months probably. I rarely used the medium ones. I did splurge a little bit on the big ones when there was a 2x boost for these, but mostly I just used the ones I had banked up, and I used a couple of the coins. But the immortal ones I did not really spend at all on this account for the better part of like 4 or 5 months. You guys can kind of see here, like I can buy 42 more just from coins. Or I can spend those coins and buy 850 of these, lower blessings, the 1 to 4 star blessings. I find that this area, the 1 to 4 star blessings, I'm starting to slow down in terms of trying to build up champions. It's just I don't spend these as quickly. But obviously the big resources here, I don't have enough to buy much. I can buy 1 6-star I'm waiting on right now. But the medium coins, I can spend relatively freely to get these medium soul stones. They do pop up a little bit more often as well. And just based on previous events, previous Deck of Fate events, previous like guaranteed champion events, it costs somewhere around 45 to 65 of these medium ones to fully complete like Deck of Fates. So just something to keep in mind, like how much resources you have to spend on those guaranteed types of events. Obviously, there's probably going to be a secondary component, probably training or dungeons. So it's going to be energy related. So if you don't have a lot of energy, then you're going to rely heavily on soul stones. At the end of the day, it's kind of like it's a resource management game, right? So we have to be able to allocate resources in different areas. So for me, I have a bunch of soul stones. It's going to be boosted. There's going to be a soul chase tournament tomorrow. I have, the Hilby 5-star soul to collect tomorrow, which gives me an immediate boost right away, free points. It's basically free points. It's going to give you some free rewards if you can hold off collecting it. And I'm going to be pulling my immortal soul stones during the boost. At least some of them. So for an account like mine, endgame account, the soul stones are, the most important, most impactful, things you can do for your account with whatever you have in your account. So obviously they don't give you champions, but they make the champions that you have that much more impactful. So if you have impactful champions, pulling the soul stones is almost a necessary thing. And obviously if you have mythicals, you have to pull the soul stones for those mythical souls. For me, I recently pulled the chicken. So I recently pulled the chicken, and I really need the soul for that chicken, right? So I got the chicken here. He's waiting to get masteries and stuff, but no big deal. And his books, I really want to wait for a train tournament or CVC to happen, but it seems pretty far away. I don't really want to wait that long. But if I pull a soul for this guy, this guy's gonna get fast tracked right away. Obviously, Embry's, I only have 1-star soul for him. I would love to get a higher soul from these immortal soul stones. So I definitely have some champions that I really want to get higher blessings for, and it definitely could be a good opportunity here for me to jump into this. We also have a tournament, right? It's a Souls Chase tournament, so there's probably going to be top 3 prizes. I'm not sure what they could be, but you could try to win some of those, especially in my position. So I think there's enough value here that I want to jump into it. Now, even with this amount of soul stones, it doesn't guarantee that I'll win anything, to be honest, because there's some Omega Krakens out there and all that. Also keep in mind that you can use your mortal ones. You can throw some of these into the wind, see if you get lucky, and then try to get some cheap rewards from the soul chase. But the big takeaway from this video is if you're still working on the frosted path, make sure you hold off collecting your soul until the soul chase event opens tomorrow, and then enjoy your free goodies. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys learned something here. Hopefully it was informative. Like I said, soul chase tournament tomorrow. There is going to be a prism event tomorrow as well, and that's going to be revolving around the dwarves. If you guys are interested in finding out why I have so many prism crystals saved up as a free-to-play player, I'm going to provide a link in the description below, and you guys can check it out. It's basically a trick that allows you to bank some of these prisms. It's not something that's easy to do, and it's probably not something that a lot of people will sit through, but if you guys are interested, I'll show you guys the video where I explain it. And make sure you pull your prisms later on in the week, because there's probably going to be a champion chase, so get some additional points there as well. Last reminder, make sure you guys save your Hilvi souls or Yuki Master souls for the soul chase tournament tomorrow. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. I appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great start to the week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.